What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Team 204. This is Crazy Bry. Today we are going to do a track guide for Charlotte Motor Speedway for the street stocks. It's a fixed setup. The only changes I've made is I've changed the steering ratio up to 14 to 1 rather than 12 to 1. This just lets me be a little bit more in touch with the car, lets it feel a little bit better. So let's jump right into it. Charlotte Motor Speedway can be one of the most fun rookie tracks, and it can be one of the most difficult rookie tracks all at the same time. The reason I say that is, it's fun, it's an easy track to drive because you can pretty much flat foot it all the way around. On the flip side of that, it can be difficult because sometimes you have to deal with the human factor. Being a rookie race, there are individuals who are still learning, who are prone to make mistakes, but that's also up to you as a driver to learn to identify when someone like that might be an issue. So that makes Charlotte one of my favorite rookie tracks. Anyway, on to the qualifying run. We'll watch it, and then I'll explain what I'm doing.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
All right, that's a 36.826. Let's rewind this and I'll explain some of the things I did because I'm sure that there's some questions on some of the tactics I've used, and I'll explain why I'm doing them. All right, Charlotte Motor Speedway, every mile an hour counts, every tenth of a second counts. So I will take my run-up lap and I'm going to run the high line. It's not the fastest way around the track, it's not for the best time. All I'm trying to do is give myself the most distance to build up speed. Now, if we pause right here just for a second, you'll notice that our speed is at 142 miles an hour, right at about 6 grand. All right, let's continue on and we'll watch the next lap. All right, so technically this is our first lap of qualifying, but we weren't all the way up to speed yet. So I will take the outside line in 1 and 2 on my first lap. This is a throwaway lap. All I'm doing is giving myself extra distance to come up to speed. I'll hold the outside line going down the backstretch, just increasing my distance. In 3 and 4, I'll take the high line, but in the middle of 4, I'm going to turn down just ever so slightly. You don't want to scrub the front tires, scrub speed off. Now, let's pause it just before we cross the start-finish line. Right here, you can see that we're at 143 miles an hour, even before we reach the start-finish line. So we are already ahead of the game just by taking that extra lap to bring us up to speed. All right, let's continue on with our actual qualifying lap, the one that's going to count. After we cross the start-finish line, we're going to want to cut down to the infield and cut up to the second to last lane to the outside. We'll pause here. You'll notice I didn't go all the way to the wall. These cars aren't fast enough. They're pretty heavy. They don't need all of the momentum coming down off of the wall. By going all the way up, you're just making your run longer. So let's continue on. Now, as you come into turn 1, you're going to want to cut all the way down to the blue line. Put your headlight on that blue line. Right here, I even drift up too far. My time would have been better if I would have stayed down. When you come out of the corner, come up to the middle line. Again, you do not have to go all the way up to the wall. Turn 3 and 4 is the same thing. Cut all the way down to that blue line. Don't touch the apron, that'll get you loose. Once again, come up to the middle line, then cut down to the infield and straight across the start-finish line.
That was your fastest lap.
That's our 36.828. One quick other thing I want to go over is troubleshooting. Beyond wreck avoidance, the only other issue you should really have on this track is a car getting loose, like this. Now the catch is, I'll slow it down here so you can see. I turn too far, now the rear end gets loose. You counter steer, you notice I don't lift, but as the rear end comes back, you want to have the steering wheel straight. Otherwise, you're going to turn right into the wall. Let's watch that again. I'll do the exact same thing up here in turns 1 and 2. Now I'll come into the corner. I'll turn too far. The car gets loose. Correct. Let's slow it down again. I turn too far. Now you can feel the rear end getting loose. I correct. And as the rear end's coming back, you're going back to left. You want to beat the rear end back to the front end. If you don't, let's try this in 3 and 4. I will not let the front end come back. And the rear end comes around, and I'm still turning right. You turn right into the wall. Anyway, I hope that this video has helped you. If you would, roll down, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm going to attempt to do guides for all of these tracks for the Rookie Series and then moving on to other tracks. So if you hit that subscribe button, you'll know when they come out in the future. Anyway, I hope this really helped you out. If you have any improvements or any suggestions, don't be afraid to leave a comment. I read them all. Thanks again for watching.